on the subject of standardized education holding humanity back. What we believe when we are young will influence our entire existence. False beliefs can only resolve to regret. Only wisdom can constantly steer a mind towards some meaningful measure of greatness. The list of false beliefs and things that end up as regrets is not that long. It is not that difficult to compile. At the same time, we must also retire the factories of false beliefs, largest of which are ineffective schools that force students to pretend that memorization and passing tests is some kind of form of education. We are simply not allowed to steer the younger generations away from the futures that are most worthy of them. Purposefully setting them up for failure is a crime. They will only discover more toxicity, like war, another one of the false beliefs that must be retired. It fixes little, and as history teaches, merely delays more destruction. The politics that lead to war must simply cease. War must be prevented. Nations must be helped not to fail into war or stagnate in toxicity. The most toxic of the facilitators of failure and false belief are poverty and fake or ineffective education, along with all flavors of indoctrination that imprison minds. Poverty causes stress, hopelessness. It is in fact a wall, and real education demands serenity so that our curiosities may bloom and call out to us. The false belief that standardized education is something other than a mere exercise in memorization and pretending to learn holds the world hostage. The result of fake education is simply people not knowing what is true. They will in fact be lost in a maze. False beliefs warp a person's view, and they may use whatever real wisdom they do have to fight goodness and real facts. They may disagree with world peace and unity, or practice science or climate change denial. Acts of confusion that turn them against themselves, that deny the beautiful futures to their own children. We can't fix schools by making children learn harder and improving overall test scores. That is impossible and probably harmful. The standardized curriculum is a fantasy that only works for a tiny fraction of students, if at all, and forces everyone else to pretend. Real education, a major part of which is gaining the ability to tell falsehoods and dead ends from truths and worthy outcomes, is self-directed, personal curiosity-based, grade-free, stress-free, lifelong, and ultimately aimed at helping the students to financial independence. In a real school, authentic graduation is marked by students' success in real life. Should their undertakings fail, they are welcome back to school to sharpen their wits further. Teachers know, we all know, that students are associating their intelligence with their GPA. We know that ineffective schools are dishing out doctored grades so that teachers keep their jobs and schools stay under radar, appearing to perform. And it is not a matter of grade inflation. That is only a distraction. It is a matter of the fact that grades are incompatible with authentic student assessment. The only assessment there is success in life. If the student failed to secure a safe future, their education was ineffective and school may not be paid, but rather it must try harder. The greater fantasy here is that grades are real. Only real success in life can measure effectiveness of education. William Butler Yeats beautifully and correctly stated that it takes more courage to examine the dark corners of your own soul than it does for a soldier to fight on a battlefield. A large part of the mechanism that propagates false beliefs is teachers going along with everyone else as not to cause any more trouble for themselves. The truth is, grades are not up for debate. They are a terrible idea that has corrupted education and must be eliminated in favor of real-world assessment. Real education is not a matter of luck at all. A student either has it or not. If they do, they will do well in life. If they don't, they will not. Today, the only kind of authentic education is still found in books, especially narrated works that are music to our ears. Works celebrated by all the world's secular, clear-thinking intellectuals who select fact and truth over opinion and falsehood. The inheritance of wisdom and knowledge found in works of great beings doubles to help the students enter the real human culture, the culture of great beings. In greatness, students will always successfully forge their own path ahead. They will deal with all the misery and tragedy in life with dignity, courage, and strength. Lastly, it is not borders, cultures, or languages that divide the world. It is just the menace of poverty and fake education. The unstoppable torrent of mind-numbing consequences rooted in fake education and poverty holds humanity hostage. It makes us stand still, divided, facing the same old mistakes. Explain to your children that to grow up means to grow all the way up, until they all become great beings and converge in culture of greatness on world peace.